There we go. All right, so where we left off, right? We were doing these scatter plots last time, and what we're going to be doing now is having our own ways of drawing these scatter plots, right? So you could do it by hand, right? This is something where you could just label an x-axis along the way here and a y-axis, then make your dots by hand. But of course, we live in the 21st century, and why would we do this by hand when we have websites that will do this for us, as long as we know how to type in our data sets, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give you the links here, right? What we've been using so far has been MetaChart, right? MetaChart. So I'm going to bring that list back up. Where are you? That is not the right link. Give me 1 second. You'd think I'd have this ready. There you are. 1920 statistics, links to graphs. And yeah, MetaChart has been the site that we've been using that helps us with a lot of the charts, right? A lot of the charts. It gave us the pie chart. It gives us the bar chart. And now you can use it for this scatter plot. You can use it for the scatter plot, but it's going to be a little weird. Okay, so take a look down here, right? If we were doing this, right, for the scatter plot, right, if I was doing this by hand, right, my x-axis would be here, and it would be all of these values, right? So the first one would be 5, and then the y values would be over here, and it goes up to 32,000, right? So I would go here, and I would go by, since it's so high, I'd probably go by, like, I don't know, 20,000 maybe, or go by 5,000s, I'd say maybe, right? Like this could be 20,000. This one could be 25,000, right? Don't write this down, but this is what I would do if I was doing this by hand, right? And I don't want to do this by hand. So the first site up is going to be doing it off of MetaChart, right? MetaChart is the one that, if you looked at it, has the pie chart on there, has the bar chart, which helps us with our Pareto chart, right? Do you guys remember the Pareto chart? Hopefully that comes into your mind. When you hear Pareto chart, it's just a bar chart that goes from highest to lowest. And then the other one is a histogram, which is just a bar graph, right? Histogram, bar graph, okay? And then we have over here, this is what we're going to working with today, which is the scatter plot. I'm going to go ahead and click on the scatter plot. And this is where I kind of like, I don't really like this site as much when it comes down to the scatter plot. And you'll see why in a second here. So just like before, right, the design is just going to be, you know, if you want to mess with the colors, you can. You can change these values, the border color, the tooltip color, all these guys. I'm going to leave them blank for right now. Or I'm sorry, default bar for right now. I'm going to go over here to the data. And this is where I am slightly bothered by it, right? This is where I'm slightly bothered by it, is putting in the numbers, right? Putting in the numbers. See here, the number of groups. You ready for this? This is the part where I get tripped up. All of this data is one particular group, right? So I would think like, oh, just have one group, and in this group I have, how many numbers do I have here? How many ordered pairs do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 numbers in total, right? Working from top to bottom. And this is what I thought I would need to do. I would go to this site. I have one group of numbers because one group is just each of these dots, right? So, right, 3 groups would be like group A, group B, and group C, right? And then in group A, there's 2 items there. So I was thinking, oh, just one group. And then number of items, I would say 10. But here's the part that came out weird for me. If I do it this way, look what happens here. They all have different colors, right? They all have different colors, and they all have different names, right? They all have different colors and different names. So if let's just do 2, for example, here, and I put in these 2 random points just to test this out, 5 and 10, and then let's make this one over here, 6 and 12, right? And I go over here and I graph this guy. I go over here and I do the display. Look, the 2 dots are different colors and different shapes. I don't want that. I want them all to be the same color and the same shape. So what needs to be done for this site, and this is what I need you guys to record here, is the number of items, right? We're going to leave that at 1. And since I want them all to be the same, I would go to the number of groups, and I would change that to 10, right? So that way, that's the part that I find like it's messed up. It has the values. I think this is wrong because I want all the dots that I'm going to be graphing here to be the same type of dot. And this is where I kind of feel like it messes up here, okay? So Oh, you know what? This might be easier. I think this might be easy. I think I've been doing this wrong this whole time. So, anyways, this is how I used to do it, right? I would go to number of groups and then number of items would be 1, and I would type in all the ordered pairs right here. And what I mean by ordered pairs is this guy right here. See this right here? This is considered an ordered pair. The first number would be 5. That's my X value, right? And the second number would be 32,000. That'd be my Y value. Oh my gosh, I think I just realized what I was doing wrong this whole time. So anyways, for the first value set, right, I would change that to a 5. Oh, wait, that was already 5. And then the second value is 32,000. And then I would go through all 10 points and just type in these 10 points, right? So the next one would be 4 and 32,500. And then the next one would be, I'm going to cheat here and just look over at my other screen, 8 and 4,000, right? This one is going to be 4 and 27,350. Let me know in the chat if at any point you're kind of confused on where I'm getting these numbers. These numbers I'm writing right now into value set 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all coming from your notes. I'm just writing these guys right here. So value set 1 was 5 and 32,000. Value set 2 was 4 and 32,500. Third value set was 8 and 4,000, 4 and 27,350, and then the fifth one is going to be 2 and 25,000, 2 and 25,000. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that one. This is the fifth one, which is 2 and 25,000. Right, we're going to keep going here. The sixth value is going to be 10 and 43,000. The seventh value is going to be 7 and 41,650. Oh, God, 6 and 39,225, 9 and 45,100, and the last one's gonna be 3 and 28,000. I don't know if you realize this or not, but most professional statisticians or people who go into the field of statistics make pretty decent money because they have to deal with organizing data correctly and making it legible. But aside from that, though, it's just a lot of number crunching and making sure you input things correctly. Anyways, once you keyed in all this stuff, right? Once you keyed in all this stuff, you can go to labels and you can make it labeled however you want. The units for the y-axis in this particular case, in this particular example, I don't know if you see this, but the units for the y-axis is in dollars. So I would go over here and hope that they have that as a possibility. So the x-axis is in, I'm sorry, the y-axis is in dollars. Do they have that? They do have a dollar sign, so I'm going to put the dollar sign. The x-axis is in, it was in years, but it doesn't look like it has it. Can I change it? Oh, I can. I just put years. Years, yeah. And then go ahead and go to display. And there's my scatter plot. This site automatically draws a line of best fit. I don't know if you guys remember that from your IM1 class. It's a line of best fit is an estimate of what they think is a pattern of all the scatter plots are doing. If you don't want this line, go back to data on the tab here, and you see this little check right here. It says line of best fit. Just click on it, and the line of best fit will go away, and you'll have your scatter plot by itself if you just want that. If you guys want to, you can take a screenshot of this. This is something that's going to go into your notes. I'm going to put it in my notes as well. And you see when you put in the units on the y-axis, it actually puts the dollar sign there. So this is $20,000, $25,000. And then we have the years as my units in the bottom there, right? And how do I know that it's in years? I go back to my notes, and it says it right here. The x-axis is going to be in years, the length of employment. And then the y value is the salary in dollars. So this is the salaries of 10 employees listed at the table at a company, how long they've been working there versus how much money they're making. And this has got to be dated, because if this guy's been working for 10 years and he's only making 43,000, actually, yeah, I don't know what their job is, so I should not be judging. This guy's been working 2 years and he's making $25,000. Whereas, oh, look at this guy. This guy's working 9 years and he's making more money than the guy who's been working for 10 years. So stuff that you can take into account, right? When you look into the graph and you look at the scatter plot, you can kind of see like, oh, it looks like there is some type of correlation there. Like the longer they've worked there, the more money they make. But it's not perfect, right? Some people make more money than others, even though they've been working there less than their colleagues, right? This guy's been working 8 years. He's almost making the same amount as this person's been working 6 years. But they are definitely higher than those who are working 5 years or less, right? Anyways, enough of me talking. I'm gonna go ahead and screenshot this and save this into my notes. I don't need to go to 11 years. I only have 10 years of data. Got that screenshot. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into my notes over here. And again, if you ever need to, you can always go onto Canvas and open up my notes onto your own website, and you can get a copy of these guys if you ever miss out on what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller, make that fit right there beautifully. All right, and I'd say from the scatter plot, I can see that as the number of years increase, so does the salary. So does the salary, right? Ooh. And that's your scatter plot, right? And again, I don't like how they have this part right here for the data entry like this. That just weirds me out. And also, if I had more than 10 points, I wouldn't be able to do it this way. But I think I just realized where my mistake was. You see right here where it says paste numbers? I think I was supposed to use the paste numbers. I think I was supposed to put the numbers into here this way. I was supposed to put it with a comma, and then separate it with another line for each of these points. So the first one would have been 5, 32,000, and then push enter, and I was supposed to put in the next one, which is 4, what's the next one? 32,500, and I think I was supposed to do it this way. Oh my goodness. I think I was supposed to do it this way. I come to office hours? Of course, because I'll be here from 1 to 2. I'll be here from 1 to 2. How do you label it? Let me finish re-putting in this data just to double check and test this. I don't know if this is actually the right way or not. I just haven't been, doing it correctly this whole time apparently. But let me double check, and we'll do another one together just to make sure that we understand how to do this correctly, because I want to make sure you guys know how to do these scatter plots and how to read them. But let me show you. Let me type in all these numbers one last time: 6, 39,225, 9, 45,100, and 3, 28,000. Okay, so Michael, how do you label it? You go over here to labels, right? And you can title it whatever you want. In this case, I would title this. Actually, I don't even know what to title this. It would be like length of employment versus salary, but I wouldn't bother it. But here, where it says the units, right? The y-axis, right? Looking at my data, the y-axis is in dollars. So that's why when I did this one right here, the y-axis, I would put the $ right there. The x-axis, based off the notes, is in years, right? Is in years. And when I went to click on that for the x-axis, there was no years there, right? It only has like pounds, degrees, milligrams, millimeters, centimeters, all that stuff. So I went with custom and I just typed in years. That way it would show up as years on the bottom there. And I want it to show up after my unit. So if you put before, it'll say like years 3, years 4, years 5. That just sounds weird. So I put it after it. So then when I go to display, it shows 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. And that's how long they've been employed for. And then the $ is right here. And yeah, it worked the same way. I guess I've been doing it wrong the whole friggin' time. I could have just put paste numbers and just paste the numbers in here with the X value, comma, the Y value. I'm a little upset. Just a little bit. A little bit upset. Anyways, that's the graph of your scatter plot. Michael, did that answer your question on how to label it? I'm hoping that did. A little upset with myself. I've been messing up this whole time. All right, Miguel, you're good. Yeah. Anyways, so that's how we make our scatter plot. We all make mistakes. Yeah, but you guys don't know me. I rarely make mistakes. That's the problem. No, I expect perfection from myself. Anyways. Yeah. All right. So Any questions on the scatter plot? Are you comfortable with this, perfectionist? Yeah, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. Anyways.
Mr. Knockbeat.
Yes, Jared.
Whenever I'm trying to make a scatter plot, it just says you must enter pairs of numbers, and when I click on number of groups, it just always leads me to an option called choose. There's no numbers at all.
Can you go to your screen real quick? Let me take a look, Jared.
Yeah, sure.
Do I have you on here? Yeah. Okay, so let me see. You must enter pairs. That looks right. What you tried to type there, that looked right. And it just deletes it once you type it?
No, I typed it in, and when I try to put numbers or groups, I just always went to choose. Like, I don't even know what to do here.
Oh, at the top there, can you click on paste numbers? Click on that first, and then you should have a little blue dot in the paste numbers, and now try to type in the numbers into there. See if that works. Does that work?
Hold on.
There you go. I think it's working now.
Okay. No, whenever I click on numbers of groups or numbers of items, it's just always choose. There's no numbers at all for me to choose from.
Okay. So once you click on paste, I just realized this. Once you click on paste, you don't need to choose the number of groups anymore. You see how it says 10 there and a 1? I can't click on it at all because you don't need to. If you're gonna paste the numbers, if you're gonna type in the data set, you would do it this way. But if you're gonna paste the numbers, you don't need this part anymore. Does that make sense?
Okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah, sorry, that was my fault because that was the whole thing that everybody in the chat was we were talking about. Like I was messing up this whole time. I kept using this, but you just want to use paste numbers. So let's I'm gonna bring it back over here. If you guys are making a scatter plot, let's start from the beginning here. Start from the beginning, right? From the very start, we'll go to scatter plot, right? Go to data, and you're gonna just paste your numbers in there. And you're going to paste your numbers as pairs and then press enter along the way. So if I was to make a scatter plot, I'd separate them with a comma. So 2, 5, 3, 4. And I don't even bother with the groups or the number of items. I would just type in the ordered pairs right here, which will be nice if you have like a PDF of your notes or something like that. You can just copy and paste them into here. And then I can go ahead and hit this. Uh-oh, am I messing up somewhere? Or is that not a pair? Hello? Whoa, okay, so now you don't want to work with me. Huh, I swear we got this to work earlier, did we not? Oh, is that a dot? Is that a dot instead of a comma? Did I mess up there? There we go. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so it should work out. You just separate them with commas, and then you should be good to go with that. And then you don't need to draw it with the line best fit. You could just uncheck that. But if it has a line, I'm not going to mark you off on it. But yeah, this is the thing that will make it a perfect chart for you every single time, as long as you keyed in your numbers. Okay, I'm going to double check real quick your homework. I believe your homework will have you do a scatter plot. And since it's a PDF on Kami, you should be able to highlight and copy, I believe. Oh, look at that, stem and leaf. You know these stem and leaves. Here is a Pareto chart. Here is a line chart. We're going to do that next. Here's a pie chart. Where's the one where we're going to do a scatter plot? Here is one. 27 is one of the scatter plots. Can you just... Oh, no, you won't be able to copy them because they are... Oh, well, never mind. I thought it was going to be easier where you can just copy like that. But if you copy that, what does that look like? If I go down here to enter it, how does that look? No, that's not okay because it actually... Yeah, you must enter pairs. So it needs a comma between them. So you have to go in there and actually input a comma. And then it'll have that dot for you. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked here. So that's how you make a scatter plot. You don't have to do it like that perfect, but that's just how you use that site to do it for you. Okay? So that's a scatter plot. And yeah, that's it. let's move on to the next one, and it's the last one of 2.2, which is a time series. Okay, a time series is just a data set composed of quantitative entries taken at regular intervals over a period of time, right? For example, the amount of rain or precipitation measured each day for 1 month, right? So that could be this right here. So you have like a little bit of rain, a lot of rain on this day, and then it decreased in rain. What questions do we do for homework? Very good question to ask. Every single time on all of these notes, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see what numbers you will have to do. In this case, for 2.2, you're going to have to do numbers 5 through 31 odd. 5 through 31 odd. And I think that's it for 2.2. But let's do a couple of these problems here, right? So what this is very similar to your scatter plot, except it's not going to be scattered, right? Each of the x values will be for a specific time, right? So if I have this recorded for 1998, I will not have anything else recorded for 1998 for this measurement of subscribers, right? This is the graph for subscribers. So the table lists the number of cell phones subscribers for the year 1998 through 2008. Construct a time series chart for the number of cellular subscribers. So we're going to do this one first. We're just going to be focusing only on the cell phone subscribers, not on the how much their bills cost, right? Which, by the way, in 1998, not a lot of high school kids had cell phones. In fact, I don't think when I was 1998, I was a freshman in high school. Man, that makes me sound so old. But I was a freshman in high school in 1998, and I don't remember anyone having a cell phone my freshman year. It wasn't until sophomore year and junior year that some kids started having cell phones. By the way, our cell phones are not like the cell phones you guys have right now. They were the old Nokia bricks that had like a physical button that you press with no touchscreen. Our game was Snake. That was the one game we had. You couldn't download any more games. So I don't know why I'm getting sidetracked on that. Anyways, so check this out, right? So for this one right here, it's just like the other one. Your ordered pairs are here. You have an X and a Y. And usually in a time series, your X is the one that has your time, right? Your X is the one that has your time, right? So right here, my X value is my years this time, and it's right here. And the first year is 1998. And there were 69.2 subscribers, so that you make a dot there. And you're going to do that for every year that you have recorded, written along the way, and you're going to separate them the same distance for each of these tick marks. So 1999 would be this far away from 1998, which makes then the year 2000 the same distance away from 1999. And we just mark them off as we go. So that would be that dot right there, that dot right there. So 86 million subscribers would be right here. 2000 would be about 109 million subscribers, which is right there. And once you make your dots, you just simply play connect the dots. And that's all a time series is just basically a line chart. It's another polygon chart, except now the x-axis will always be time. It will either be days, months, years, hours. It all depends on what it is that you're recording. And then you just simply connect the dots with all of these, right? Now, how are we going to do this for this time series? For the time series, we're also going to be using, actually, I have another link on there instead, but let's try this one. So for your time series, does this site have it on there? It has a line chart. What's a spline chart? It has a line chart on there. Maybe we could use this line chart right here. So maybe we can use this site for this as well. Let me see. So we'll go here and then we go to data. Oh, see, it's a weird group thing again. This time it does not have. It doesn't have the place where I can just put in the ordered pairs now. I actually have to do it this way again, and this will only limit me to 10. Oh God, no, let's not do that way. So I have another site for the time series. Let's see if this works. So I actually haven't tried this in a while. So time series, we're gonna go ahead and try this site right here. I'm gonna put it into the chat if you guys want to try it with me, and we're gonna have fun to see if this works or not. I actually have no idea if this is going to be good or not, or even if this site still works. All right, so here we go. On this site, supposedly right here, you have your Y data, and then you have your time data, and then it should supposedly graph it for you, and they're going to separate them by commas here. So let's go ahead and go down here to the will do one, right? And the will do is asking us to focus on the average bill, right? The average bill. So it's this guy right here with this as my x-axis. So this is my time, and this is my average bill. My average bill is going to be my Y values, okay? And that's going to be in dollars. And this is my X value, which is going to be in what year it is, okay? So we're going to test this out together and see if this works out correctly, right? So let's see how this works on this site right here. So when I'm looking at this site, I have my Y data, and then I have my time data, which is my X data. And it says here to separate them with commas. So I would just type in my values here for Y and separate them with the comma. So the first Y value, let's go back and look at my chart here. My first Y value is 39.43. 39.43. So I go over here, type that in, 39.43, and then separate the next one with a comma, and then type in the next number, which is, I'm going to go over and look at my notes. I know that some of you guys are like saying like, hey, Nakami, it looks like the numbers are there. I don't want to, I just want to make sure that they're the right numbers. Next number is 41.24. So I'll type that in right there, 41.24. And it does look like it's the same. So I would just type in all of the numbers, right, that I have for my Y values. So what I was doing here was I was typing in this number right here, then this number, and then separate them all with a comma. So those are all my Y values, right? And I'm going to do the same thing for my X values. My time data is my X values, by the way. And that's going to be 1998. And then the next one is 1999. And I just keep doing this for all of them all the way up to 2008. I guess I typed this in before, and it has it saved. So 1998 all the way up to 2008. How do you know which one is your Y? That's a great question. When you do a time series, right? When you do a time series, your X is always going to be your time, right? When you do a time series, the X value is always going to be your time, right? So put that in your notes somewhere. For a times series, right? When you do a time series chart, your X is always your time. The other one is always going to be your Y value. And in this particular case, how do you know which one is which? This one's a poorly done chart. How do I know to use this one? It's mostly because the previous one used this one. So this new one is going to ask me to do it for the other one. So you focus on what they say here. And here it says to construct a time series for the average bill. For the average bill. That's how I know to use this one instead of the first one in this case. Right? Because I should have read this part out right here. It's doing it for the bill, which is this guy right there. Okay, so hopefully that answered that question. Going back over here, so I was supposed to type in all my Y values, type in all my X values, and separate them with the comma. And then you could type in the title here. And I guess the title I used before was the average cell bill. Average cell phone bill. Name of the time variable, this is in years, right? Name of the Y variable, this is in, I think this is in dollars, but we can also put average bill. And then once you key all this in, we're just gonna hit graph it and hope this works. Because I haven't done this in a while. Oh man, it's taking a little bit of time, isn't it? Well, let's see if it works. Oh, there it goes. Boom. It has the average bill on the left, and then it has the year on the bottom. This is not as pretty though. Do you see how the years goes from 1995 to 2010? It's missing like the ones in the middle here. But we're gonna have to be able to not be, we're just gonna have to not be picky about it and just take this as our value here. So we have the year, we have the average bill. I'm gonna screenshot that, and I'm gonna just go ahead and put that in my notes right here. Put in my notes right here, like so. Shrink that down, and bam, there we go. That's my that is my time series looking at the average bill cost, right? Man, you can clearly see that the bill has been consistently going up, right? It used to cost $39 on average, and then now the average bill in 2008 was like almost $50. Actually, do you guys know what your average phone bill is? Do you guys know what your phone bill is just for your line and your line alone? Do you guys know what it is? I think my bill is actually kind of expensive. I didn't even really think about it, how much it costs now for your cell phone bill. We just use it like normal, right? Is it around $50, or is it up to like $60 or $70 now for your cell phone bill? You guys know? I guess it depends on if you get a phone with your bill or with your plan, right? You have to pay off your phone. You think I should know all this, but eh. Anyways, no one wants to share. We'll leave it at that. Anyways, or is it one of those things like your parents pay for your bill, so you have no idea? I have a plan for 3 people, $400. Okay, so that makes sense. You get to like do a family plan thing, which I think makes more sense if you have more people. Yeah. All right. That's that. There's a you try here, and we're supposed to do this as well. So it'd be like the first day, the second day, the third day, all the way to the 12th day, right? Paying for service and phone. Yeah, so that I figured as much, right? So you can like get a newer phone, but not pay for the phone up front. You can just pay it along the way, and so you can get yourself a nice phone. Anyways, if you were going to do a time series for this one, right, the x-axis would be your days, right? So if I was making a list of this, first of all, I'm going to get this thing to work correctly. So let me close that and reopen it. This has been happening all day for some reason. I have no idea why my OneNote has been tripping on me. Just decides to like poop itself. Okay, so let's try this again. So if I was gonna do this you try, which I suggest you actually try yourself, right? The x-axis will be, the x value will be your days, right? And hopefully you guys can see that your days is gonna be day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4, all the way and so on, all the way up to day 12. And your y-axis is gonna be your temperature, right? It's gonna be your temperature, because that's what we're measuring right here, the daily highs, right? So day 1 was 77 degrees, day 2 was 77, day 3 was 79, and day 4 was 81. And I would go and type these in to that site, and then have it graph it for me. So the x value in this particular example, right, would be the type of the time would be in days instead of years, and the y variable would be temperature. And then that's it. And then you hit graph it, and it'll graph this guy for you. So hopefully you guys will try that out. It's a different link now, so hopefully you will have it bookmarked, right? Have it bookmarked. So the first link, which was here, let me go ahead and copy that for the MetaChart site, right? It does these links, right? It does these graphs right here. I'm gonna put that into the chat. For MetaChart, it does your pie chart, your Pareto chart, your scatter plot, right? And then for your time series, you would use this site, which is mathtracker.com, right? That's what we were using to do a time series. So that I'll put those links into the chat, and hopefully you guys will bookmark them and save them, so it'll help you to do your homework. When you do your homework and you submit the picture of the graph, you do not have to hand draw them unless you want to, right? Unless you want to and you feel uncomfortable using these sites, you can hand draw them and send them to me. But if you feel comfortable using these sites, you can just take a screenshot of them, save them onto your drive, and then submit them. And I'm telling you, it's easier to do than doing it by hand. Okay, it's easier to do than doing it by hand. So anyways, that's it for 2.2. The homework is listed right here, and it's already posted online on your Canvas page, I believe. Yes, it's right here. So you can go through there and do numbers. I should have wrote it down on there for you. It's numbers 5 through 31 odd. I need to do a better job of like actually putting that down for you guys. I should have like drew a text box and actually put that here. Numbers 5 through 31 odd. I don't know why I don't do this for all of them. I should have just done that and then have it saved. Will this work? I don't actually know if this is going to work and it shows up on your screen or not. But we'll see. Do we submit the notes? Yes, Michael, we are done with the notes. Go ahead and submit them. You should have all of these examples filled out and saved. Hopefully you guys have them saved. And then, yeah, hopefully you guys will have them on your own drive as well. Okay. When does the homework due? That's a good question. I set it to... When did I set your homework to be due? What do you guys think?
Hey, Mr. Nakam, we could go back to that graph that we just made.
Oh, sure. Sure. Give me a second.
My tab just completely crashed on me.
No worries. Let me go ahead and this is it right here. I set the homework to be due on the, it looks like the 12th, but honestly, just get it done when you can.
Thank you.
No problem. So we'll set a soft due date of the 12th, which is Monday, right? We'll set a soft due date for that. If you don't finish it by the 12th and you need help, just come see me and we can, talk about it, figure out what to do. I'm pretty lenient on homework, so just understand it's mostly for your help for your quizzes. And most of the times I get your quiz questions from your homework because I'm lazy. Anyways, let's go ahead and start on the new notes, which I don't know if I uploaded yet or not. I should have. We're going to find out right now. So October 12th. Yeah, Michael, let's set a soft due date for October 12th, Monday, for that. So I did not put the link for it yet, but let's see if I have it. Moment of truth. Did I set up 2.3 notes that I had it in advance? I did. Haha. I planned ahead, guys. I was adulting correctly. So 2.3 notes. There's the link for it. Let me go ahead and I hope that works. Hold up. Let me see if that works first of all. 2.3. Oh, load in the new page. Is this the right one? Come on. Yes, it is. Unit 2, Lesson 3, Measures of Central Tendency. Sweet, it works. Let me go ahead and put that in the chat so you guys can open up the notes for 2.3. Woo! I planned ahead. I actually did things okay this time. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Just like that. So let me go ahead and add that in here. We're going to do 2.3. I believe 2.3 was measures of central tendency or central tendency measures. I already forgot what was the title. Give me 1 second here. There it is. 2.3 measures of central tendency. Right, measures of central tendency. Let's go ahead and get that on there. You guys are Unit 2, Lesson 3. And I'm going to just drag that onto here, and hopefully that works. What? Oh, you're downloading, and then insert as a printout. And boom! Aha! We're there! Everything's good. Yeah! Everything's there. Awesome. So I'll give you guys a second, open up the notes, submit the other one, 2.2, and then open up 2.3. And we're going to start on this today. All right, let's start on this today. So I'll give you guys a second. We're learning quite a few words for this one. Not as much graphing, mostly just data being collected here on this one. All right. Whew. Let's get in there. There's a lot of vocabulary for this one, apparently. We're going to have to learn how to calculate the mean, median, and mode of a population and of a sample. We need to learn how to figure out the weighted mean of a data set and the mean of a frequency distribution. And then the last one is how to describe the shape of the distribution using symmetric, uniform, or skewed, and how to compare the mean and the median for each. It's a lot going on there. We're not going to do all of this today, but we're going to start off with the stuff that you should hopefully have learned before my class, right? Mean, median, and mode should not be new words for you guys, right? Mean, median, and mode should be stuff that you've learned before. Yeah, Michael, it is a lot. It is a lot. I agree. But as I was saying, though, don't get tripped up by this phrase right here. This whole thing that says measures of central tendencies, right? Is basically just the mean, the median, the mode, right? And hopefully you guys have seen this before. The mean is just the fancy way of saying the average, right? The median is just a fancy way of saying the number that's in the middle, and the mode is just a fancy way of saying the number that's shows up the most, right? And that's all that is. And I'm going to list these guys right here, right? The measures of central tendencies is just a value that represents a typical or central entry of data, right? It's the most common measure. The most common measure of central tendencies are these three right here, which is the mean, the median, and the mode. And for example, if I wanted to share like how well you guys did as a class, right? We wouldn't look at all the numbers. We would look at the class average, right? We could say like, oh, how'd you guys do as a class? Oh, you guys had a class average of 95%, which means that on average, we got a score of 95% in this class because you guys are amazing, right? That's what we should be aiming for, have a class average of at least an A, right? Right, and it's not too bad, and you guys can figure that out, right? But that's all it is. It's just a way of looking at data and seeing like, is this a good representation of what we have or of what we're dealing with? And we have three different ways of looking at it. The first one up is the mean, right? The mean is simply just the average where you take the sum of all of your data and then divide it by how many you have in your data. How many points were there in your data? It's kind of a pain to write down that sentence every time you're looking for the mean. So they come up with notations to help you with that. So instead of actually saying like, oh, here's my, oh, you guys are writing, like, here's my data set, right? And I have, you know, the first data set, the second data set, the third data set, the fourth data set, and so on and so forth, right? To get the mean, you're supposed to be doing X, the first data set plus the second data set plus the third data set plus the fourth data set, right? And again, if you do this, it's kind of annoying to write this all out. So instead of writing this all out, they use this guy right here. This is called sigma notation. And what does the definition for mean say? The definition for mean says the sum of all the data entries divided by the number of entries. The sum of all the data entries divided by the number of entries. Okay. Then below here is the notation for it, so you don't have to write it all out. I need you guys to get this notation right here. This right here is called the sigma notation, and all that represents is you're supposed to add up all your data entries, right? X is just a placeholder for your data entries. So for example, like if I had the data entry like 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, right? What I'm supposed to be saying is that this right here represents 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 7 plus 9. That's all that sigma represents, is that you're taking all that stuff and you're adding them together, right? And then to get the mean, you just take that sum and then you divide by n. And n, I hope you guys can see this, n is equal to the number of entries. Number of entries, right? And you'll see like, well, what does it mean for population mean and sample mean? Well, remember we learned some things are considered samples and some things are considered populations. When we figure out which one it is, we actually have to use the correct notation for it, right? And some of you guys are familiar with seeing this X with a bar on top of it. This X bar is used for the sample mean. That's all the X bar represents. It's the sample mean. It's the mean of your sample. So if I'm looking at a sample of Mr. Knockney's class compared to a population of Lawndale students, right? And I was just looking for the sample mean, I would use this symbol. I would use X bar, right? If I was looking at the population of Lawndale High School and I was calculating the average score for Lawndale High School students as the population, I would use this symbol. You guys see that symbol? Okay, it looks like a fancy M, right? And that's actually a Greek letter. That's the Greek letter mu. It's pronounced mu, and it's just like that. It's like a fancy little cursive M right there, but it's a mu, right? Just if you guys are familiar with Pokemon, right? It's like a mu, but we don't spell it M-E-U. Mu is spelled M-U if you want to spell it out. But yeah, it's just a Greek letter. And don't get tripped up by that, right? Understand that both of these guys represent the mean. It's just that one represents the mean of the sample. The other one represents the mean of the population. And it all depends on, am I talking about just the the sample or just the population? All right. Anyways, oops, didn't mean to erase all that. But yeah, that's that. So don't get tripped up by this notation. Understand that this is just the mean of the population. This is the mean of the sample. Don't get tripped up by this sigma notation. That little backwards E just means that you're supposed to add up all the numbers, right? Add up all the numbers that you have for X. And how you know which numbers are for X? That's the number that's in your data set. So this would be like your first X. This would be your second X. This would be your third X. This would be your fourth X. This would be your fifth X, right? Right? Hopefully you guys don't have that in real life where you have 5 X's that you have to deal with. Right? Get it? X's. All right. Anyways, so N represents the number of entries, and we use a capital N if we're dealing with a population, and we use a lowercase n for a sample size, right? Again, it's just the number of entries, but one is for population, one is for sample. Demaya, thank you for actually laughing at that. I appreciate it. Number of entries for your sample or number of entries for your population, right? And that's it. That's all the mean is, right? Don't overthink this. You know how to calculate the mean. You add them all up, divide by how many you are, and that's your average, okay? That's your average. Let's go on to the other two, though. The median, right? Looks like this long-looking thing, but I just want you to think to yourself, when you hear the word median, I want you to think of the word middle. Middle. It's the number that's exactly in the middle of your data set. Now, in order for you to do this, though, you need to make sure that your data is in order, right? Once you put it in order, you're looking at the one that is exactly in the middle. And the way that I had my my freshman learn this is I just kind of made it sound like it, right? If you hear the word median, I want you to think of the word middle, right? Median is the number that's in the middle of your data set, right? Median is the number that's in the middle of your data set. I know that sounds weird, but that's how you actually will hear it from now on. If you're looking for the median, you're looking for the number that's in the middle of your data. And whereas if you're looking for the mode, you're looking for the number that shows up the most, right? So the mode is the one that shows up the most, whereas the median is the number that shows up in the middle. I guarantee you will not be able to unhear my voice saying the word median and the word middle anymore. I had a kid who, I kid you not, I taught this to them like 6 years ago, and I ran into them, and they still hear that in that tone when they have to hear the word median. They automatically go to my voice going middle. So I'm hoping that's going to happen to you guys as well. When you're looking for the median, you're looking for the number that's in the middle of your data once you put it in order. Okay, once you put it in order. The only thing that's if there's two numbers in the middle, then you just take the average of those two numbers, right? The median is in between those two data entries. Okay, so if you have an odd number of data entries, meaning like let's say you have 7 numbers, then the number that's exactly in the middle is going to be your median, right? So if you have 3 here, and the 7th number, right, in the middle there would be the 4th one. That will be your median. Your mode is the one that just shows up the most. It's the one that has the greatest frequency. So if you have a number repeat itself like twice and nothing else repeats itself, that one that repeats itself twice would be considered your mode, right? It's the one that shows up the most. out of all of that. And if none of this is making sense, let's just go ahead and do a problem and calculate what is the mean, the median, and the mode of a specific data set. Okay, and you'll see it. Once you start doing this, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, you've done this before. This isn't actually that hard. All right, so let's look here. Right here we have here the prices in dollars for a sample. That's the key word here. We're not dealing with a population. We're dealing with a sample, right? Of round trip flights from Chicago to Cancun. This is, of course, before COVID, so the prices look like they're very expensive. If you're going to travel now in today's day and age, which I really suggest you don't, but if you were to fly now, I think plane tickets right now are ridiculously cheap, but that's because, you know, you risk dealing with the whole pandemic, right? Or getting stuck to wherever you fly to. So just keep that in mind. So this is like, you know, the previous prices. So I have here $872, $432. These are all in dollars, right? This is how much it costs to fly round trip from Chicago to Cancun, Mexico. Right? So we're going to find the mean, the median, and the mode of this right here. Okay? So how do you calculate the mean? Well, the mean is just the average of all these guys. And this is each of these values here is just an input value, right? So X, my first value is $872. Second value is $432. I'm going to do is just add these up. Add these up. So I'm going to go ahead and add this up. 872 plus 432 plus 397 plus 427 plus 388 plus 782 plus 397, right? I'm just summing those up and I get this guy right here. That is not my average, right? That is not my average, first of all, right? Hopefully you understand that that is the sum of all my data points that I have there. And how many data points do we have listed here for the sample? How many numbers do I have listed here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers in total. I would take my sum and divide it by 7, right? And I get my average here of 527.86, right? 527.86. So I'll write this out. My mean is my X bar, and that's going to be equal to 527.86. And that's my mean. That's my mean. Not too bad, right? How do I know it's an X bar, by the way, not that mu character, right? How do I know it's my X bar, not my mu? And that comes from this guy right here. It's the fact that they tell me that this is a sample, right? And since it's a sample, the mean symbol that we're going to use is X bar. If they told me that this was a population, first of all, that'd be a very small amount of flights that they have from Chicago to Cancun. There's only 7 flights listed. But if it was the population, then I would say that that is my mu is equal to that value. How do I know to divide by 7? I simply just counted it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's what my n is. N is equal to 7 in this case. And again, lowercase n, because this is a sample. Okay? Any questions on how to calculate the mean? Does this bring back memories? Do you remember how to do this? Hopefully you learned this before. If not, I don't know what to say. You should have learned how to calculate the mean before you got into high school. Hopefully. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, it's easy. Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Remember, when you're looking for the median, you're looking for the number that's in the middle, okay? And you're going to say, knock me right here. It's the number that's in the middle. I'm going to say, no, don't do that. Don't do that. All right, don't do that. If you're looking for the number that's in the middle, put it in order first, and then get the number that's in the middle, right? Right. It's the same thing with like shirt sizes. If you had small, medium, and large, the size that's in the middle is the medium, right? You have to put it in order, because if you had your shirts from small, large, and medium, your middle number or your middle shirt is not going to be the large shirt, right? It'll be the medium side because it's in the middle. So make sure you have them in order first of all. So right here, the smallest price I see here, if I put this in order, would be 388, right? That's that one right there. And then the next one after that is going to be 397. That's that one right there. And it's actually listed twice at 397. And then 427, be that one. 432 is that one. 782 is that price. And then the last one is 872 is that price. And I would just look at it and I would just see that, oh, there's 7 values here. So it's going to be the number that's exactly in the middle. So there is 3 on that side. And I like to go like this when I draw this out. So I can see that, oh, 3 on the left, 3 on the right. The number that's in the middle is 427. And that's my median, because my median is the number that's exactly in the middle, right? My median is exactly the number that's in the middle right there. And you'll say, knock me, that matches with that one earlier. And that's just by coincidence, guys. That's just by coincidence. It's not always going to be the case, right? So make sure you put it in order first and then look for the number that is in the middle right there. And then the last one is the mode, right? And I hope you guys remember that the mode is the one that shows up the most, right? And which one shows up the most? That is going to be the 397. That one is your mode, right? Just a heads up for those of you who are writing this down for your mode, just note that it does show up. It could have multiple modes, right? If another number has showed up twice, like let's say the 872 showed up twice, then your mode would be both the 397 and the 872. It's whichever one shows up the most. And you could have more than one mode, right? You can have more than one mode. Actually, that's what it says right here. For each entry is a mode, you can have something that's bimodal, meaning more than one mode if 2 entries occur with the same greatest frequencies. Okay. Anyways, that's that one right there. And yeah, let's do another one. I know this is like this is kind of weird, but let's just take a look at this other one right here. Let's say if the flight priced at $432 is no longer available, what is the median price of the remaining flights, right? I'm saying, what if the 432 is no longer included, right? So I list this out as 388, 397, 397, right? 427, but then I'm going to take out the 432 value. That's no longer going to be included there. 432 is going to be taken out. 782 and 872, right? I'm going to take out that 432 right there and look at this like so, right? The 432 is no longer going to be involved. What is the median of this example now where I've taken out that value? I hope you guys can see that if I did that and I took out that value, right? Move these guys a little bit closer over here. And I wanted to find the median for this guy. I hope you guys can see that if I try to find the median now, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you see the middle number is, there's nothing there. So what I need to do now is find the number that's exactly in the middle of the 2 middle numbers. You guys see that? I don't actually have a middle number right here, but I have 2 numbers that are close enough to the middle. So how do I find my median? I just simply find the average of the 2 numbers right here. I would do this 397 plus 427 and divide that by 2. And that's going to be my median for this new problem if I have an even number of data points, right? If I have an even number of data points. So this right here, this right here is going to be equal to 397 plus 427, right? Divide that by 2, and that's going to give me 412. And that's going to be my median for this one. And you'll say, knock me, there isn't a data entry that's at 412, and that's okay, right? That's okay. The median is just the number that's exactly in the middle of your data. And that's right there, right here. 412, that's your median for that guy. So if you have an odd number of data points, then the median will just be the number exactly right there in the middle, right? If you don't have an odd number and you have an even number, you have to do a little bit of work, just a little bit, by adding these 2 numbers together that are like the closest that they are to the middle, and then divide by 2. And that's all you have to do to find the median. Okay? All right. All right. Here's how I'm going to wrap this up today. What I want you guys to do is I want you to find the mean, the median, and the mode of these numbers right here. Find the mean, the median, and the mode for these numbers right here. So I'm going to give you guys, mean is pretty easy. You add them all up and divide by how many there are, but you need to do what you need to do is count how many there are. And then the median, you need them in order. So I'll leave that to you. And then the last part is the mode. So can you guys go ahead and do that real quick? Figure out what's the mean, what's the median, and what's the mode for this one. I'll give you guys, this should take you a little bit of time. So I'm going to set a timer for, let's go with 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes there. See if you guys can calculate the mean, median, and mode. That's not enough time. Let's go 6 minutes. 6 minutes. And in 6 minutes, we'll see if you guys have the answer for these. Okay? So calculate the mean of all these numbers, calculate the median of all these numbers, and calculate the mode of all these numbers. Let's see what you guys get. Let's see what you guys get. Oops. Messed that up. All right. Does Cami allow you to does Cami allow you to upload these or copy these numbers? It's a poor image on these notes, but if you can copy these numbers, it'll be a game changer. Can I copy these numbers? I cannot. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't have typed it. I shouldn't have took a picture of it. I should have typed it out for you guys so then you guys can copy the numbers. This is painful. Yeah, it is. I think yeah, that was my fault. I should have got a better quality of this one. So, you know what, guys? Actually, you guys are still working on it. I feel a little bad because, yeah, that's just so many numbers where yet you can't even copy it. But I think you guys get this. I think. Hopefully you guys will get this. All right. You know what? I'm gonna just I'm gonna show you guys a cheat before we leave today. I'm gonna show you guys a cheat. Yeah, I'm gonna just show you guys a cheat. You guys ready for this? Mean median mode can be kind of a pain, right? Mean median mode can be kind of a pain doing this by hand, adding these all up, counting how many there are, dividing by how many there are, right? So, all of you guys who are on Chromebooks, right? You guys have access to this TI calculator now. I lost count halfway. I know. So let me give you guys a cheat. I feel bad. So let me give you guys a cheat. Can you guys download and open up your TI calculator? If you don't have, oh, Calvin's being nice. There are 80 numbers. Thank you, Calvin. If you guys don't have it, right, come stop by. I'll give you the link. Your Chrome, you have access to this calculator now through your Chromebooks, okay? And you can actually have this thing. And what's nice about this calculator, right? What's nice about this calculator is it'll do all this for you without you having to do it by hand. You still have to type in the numbers, but let me show you what I mean. You don't actually have to put it in order. Ready for this? If you go into here and you go into stat, right? When you press stat, there's the first thing that comes up, which is edit. And when you hit edit, it gives you this option to put in list of numbers, right? And you could type in your numbers into this list, right? All these numbers right here. So you still have to type it out, but it's a little bit easier because you can use your keyboard. So 25, 5, 18, 12, 60, 44, 24, 22, 2, 7, 15, 39, 58, 53, 36, 42. Oh God, 16, 20, 1, 5, 39, 51, 44, 23, 3, 13, 37, 56, 58, 13, 47. Why did I do this to you guys? 23, 1, 17, 39. I think I used to just enjoy tormenting my kids. I think that's what it was. So I would do problems like this and have you guys do it by hand. And I was just like, I feel like I used to be a jerk or something to do something like this. Why would I do this to you? I'm just typing in all these numbers right here into my calculator, and I'll show you again how I got here from the screen. But let me just show you real quick before we call it a day, because I feel a little bit bad that I had you guys do this by hand. So let me feel better about myself by showing you a shortcut. God. By the way, if you're wondering why I can type numbers so fast, it's just something I did a while there. Where do we get that calculator? Michael, send me an email. I'll send you a link. If you're on your Chromebook, it has to be the school issued Chromebook, and you click on this link and you install the app for the TI calculator. Did we not do that in this class yet? Oh, we haven't done that in this class yet, have we? Shoot. We'll do this next time. Shoot, I don't think I did this for you guys yet. Yeah, we have not done this for you guys. My fault. I did this for my AP Calc kids. I haven't done it for you guys yet. So I'll give you the link next time. We'll do this together. And let me just show you how this works. Right. By the way, there are 80 numbers. Look at this right here. Once you type in the numbers in here, you see how it lists it for you right there. And this is what I wanted to show you guys. And we'll do this next time, I guess. We'll do this next time. So I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't have done this. But check this out. Once you type the numbers into this list, right, I wanted to show you guys this. Is the calculator will do this test for you. Do this calculation for you. It's a one variable statistics, right? I have the numbers stored into L1 for my list. And check this out. Once you put this in all those numbers into the calculator, it calculates your average for you. Check it out. You see the average right there is 27.825. There's 80 numbers. And this is the part that I wanted to show you. The median is listed right here. And the mode, oh, it doesn't show you the mode though. Dang it. That's not gonna work out either. Anyways, I'm gonna show you another way. We'll do it another way somewhere else. There's a program that will calculate the mode for you as well. Actually, I think this one will do it. If I go to second catalog, is there a mode? Let me press M. Give me 1 second before we call this a day. I just wanted to show you guys these tools. Mean, median. Do you show mode? You don't show mode. Is there not a mode in here? There should be. I feel like there should be. remainder FD. I'll go look for it, but I'm pretty sure there is a mode, but dang it. We'll figure this out next time. And then I'll get you the link for this calculator for you guys to have as well, because it is a tool that will do this a little bit easier for you guys, so you don't have to do this all by hand and then count it and then put them in order and then figure out which one's in the middle. I don't know why I would do that to you guys with 80 numbers. I would never do that for you guys on a yeah, okay, so yeah, ignore that for now. We'll work this out next time. I'll show you guys how to use this calculator. It actually looks confusing, and it is. But once you get the hang of it, Jada, it actually makes your life a lot easier. But we'll worry about that next time. Same thing with this right here. I don't think I would ever give you 80 numbers and then ask you to find the median by hand, because that's just, you got to organize all 80 numbers from smallest to largest, and that's just cruel. I don't know why I would do that, but we'll do this next time. We'll focus on this next time. I'll get you guys something where it'll be easier to do than doing this by hand. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it there, guys. We finished 2.2. You should be able to start at the homework now for 2.2. For 2.3, I'm not gonna put the homework up just yet until we actually get a little bit further into it. So we'll continue this on Thursday. All right, and that's gonna be it for me for today, guys. We'll continue this on Thursday. All right. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys on Thursday. So long.